Lions fans, on this episode of The Morning After, we're going to talk about a few things that's been going on since our team won last night. There's been some criticism, and I want to take the time to talk about that. So let's dig in. All right, Lions fans. So, as we all know, our team going to Kansas City, beat the Super Bowl champs. Big deal for us. Great deal for us. You've seen the excitement from Brad Holmes after the game. Some of the players going into the crowd. A lot of Lions fans representing, right? Not so much the case around the league, I'll say that. When it comes to analysts and certain personalities, there's criticism. A lot of the fans, criticism. What is the criticism about? It's about Kansas City dropping footballs, right? We all know about Tony, man, and he dropped some passes for Kansas City, which to me means absolutely nothing when it comes from a football standpoint, because that's a part of what happens in football, right? Listen, Marvin Jones dropped passes. He also fumbled the ball at a very, very bad time for the Detroit Lions. And not once have I heard that mentioned. You know why? Because our team withstood that and they came out with a victory. That's what good teams do. You've been hearing that for a long, long time, right? Good teams, they go through adversity and they find a way to win. Our team did that. So why can't we just get our flowers for doing that, right? It's the Super Bowl champs. Whether you're missing players or not, you're missing Travis Kelce, we're missing Jameson Williams. Both of those are two big play players, right? Jameson Williams is that home run guy that we needed sorely last night, that can stretch the field. So we didn't have that. But did you hear us crying about it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All the plays in Lions history that I can go back through and say, well, this player dropped this pass or this player did this. This is why we lost. You can do that with every single team in the NFL. Stop the excuses, okay? They lost. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid, they lost. It's the first game of the season. They took a L. I don't care how the L happened. It happened. Only thing that matters in the NFL is wins and losses. It's not how you win. It's not how you lose. It's what that scoreboard says at the end of the game. So many things and factors happen throughout a game that cause teams to lose. But you never hear teams complain about it because it's part of the game. It's nothing to see here, right? You just water under the bridge. So stop whining and making excuses when you see a Super Bowl champ team go down in the first game of the season. We have a whole 16 more weeks to go. I think we can survive, right? So for the Kansas City fans, for anybody that's covering what happened yesterday, you cover sports teams, stop the excuses and the complaining. Stop the whining. Because we have a whole lot to complain and whine about just in that game. We all know about Taylor, right? We know about the obvious holding against our defensive linemen, especially Aiden Hutchinson. So we found a way to win. That's what it's about, man. So, when you're looking into this game, you sit back and if you got the opportunity to rewatch or you just going back through plays in your mind, man, you just got to give credit to some of the big play guys out there. I can't say enough how much I admire Jack Campbell coming in, being a rookie and playing some tough football, and using that IQ. The reason why we drafted him, right? Brad Holmes is especially excited simply because of that draft class. Some people didn't like it. Some people did not like that draft class. Me, myself, I was opposed to the first pick. Not the player that we received, but where we took him and who was available. But after that, I had no problems with anybody else we draft, especially when you talking about Jack Campbell, Brian Branch, Hendon Hooker, Laporta, so Brad Holmes went out and got guys that's going to contribute and help his team do what they plan to do this season, which is be gritty, give a lot of effort, go and find ways to win football games. These guys are proven battlers out there. They're proven warriors. And that's what we want in this team, right? So when you see the excitement of your GM like that after the game, things are starting to come full circle. And the reason why I say starting is because we have budding stars. We still don't even have the stars yet. We're going to have a lot of money in cap space. We're listen, this team is not rounded out yet. We're just starting. So and it's great that they're playing the way that they are. The NFL is a little bit different from other leagues like the NBA. You can flip things over really fast. In one season, you can flip things around if you make the right moves in the NFL. I've seen it happen before. So when you see these young guys going out there and performing like they did last night, it just adds that much more excitement to the fan base, because we've never seen this type of thing before. So, we go into we come back to Ford Field. We going against the Seahawks team, right? One that has some good receivers, one that can run the football and also stout on defense. So you would think that's also a tough battle. Well, for the first time, we have a team that's good in multiple spots. You hear a lot of people talk about last season. This is why I don't do the stat thing, right? A lot of people wonder why. This is why, because statistics are going to tell you that the Detroit Lions had the worst defense that you can think of last season. It's not going to tell you the whole story. It's not going to tell you what the defense looked like in the second half of the season last season. It's not going to tell you about all the plays that Houston and Hutchinson made, the sacks, the interceptions, Kirby Joseph. It's not going to tell you about all those big moments and big plays that the defense made to help us win football games in the second half. So, the books just don't tell you that. You got to watch football. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch football. That's why it's a jock's sport. It's a man's sport. And all the numbers that you read behind your glasses, it's not telling you the whole story. So we have an offensive line that can stand up to anybody. I know there's some reports out there about Taylor Decker being in a boot. But then from what I read is that he should be well ready to go for next game, be it that we got 10 days off. So probably just some soreness, wanted to be careful about it, a little tweak or something like that. We'll see. But our offensive line is stout. Our running back room is stout. Our defensive line, we still got a few things to patch up when it comes to the middle. We need some more push in the middle. But, like I said, we had a couple of players on that D-line that weren't available for us yesterday. So hopefully we'll see those guys. So our secondary is vastly improved. And also we still have Emmanuel Mosley coming, right? So, when you're looking at this team through and through, and our tight end room and all these positions, special teams, Khalif Raymond just doesn't get enough respect, right? You just kind of got to say, man, we can beat anybody. And that's what we saw last night. We can beat anybody. So, all the frustration from some of the fans of Kansas City, that's understandable. But when you have guys on TV saying, hey, put an asterisk by this game because they didn't have Kelson Jones. Did you hear any of this sympathy last season when we was missing half of our doggone team for the first half of the season? How many players have we been missing? Did you hear any of this sympathy? None at all. That's why we rock our Detroit versus everybody gear. because it seems that way. It's just like it's one way for this team and it's another way for our team. You seen that last night, right? In a penalty situation. Well, Kansas City got the call, but we didn't on our end. It's just crazy, right? So, you know, it is what it is. We're used to it. Not going to cry over spoiled milk. We got the W. So face it. Face it. Take it. Take it to the chin. But on the other note, man, just rewatching that game was amazing because it gives you a second opportunity to focus on things and see some things in a more clear perspective. And, you know, those guys definitely were out there trying to make plays. Very unfortunate officiating at times, but they were definitely out there fighting. And they fought end to end, from beginning to end. And that's all I ask for as a Detroit Lions fan. So, man, leave it in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought about some of the comments made, some of the excuses put out there. And, you know, how are you feeling today? You know, I'm still feeling the same way I felt last night. I barely slept last night, right? I know a lot of us are tired. How do you feel today? You know, leave it in the comment section, man. And I'll see you guys very, very, very soon because we will be talking some more Lions. We got a big time game coming up at home, first home game versus the Seahawks. So we got a lot to talk about. But with that said, you guys have a very blessed day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.